So today we are going to be stringing the latte art sign. Go ahead, I like to do this color first, and then after that you can do either black or white next, doesn't matter. But I like to do this first because then it looks like it's below. Go ahead and unravel it. And then the first thing that I like to do is tie my knot in the air instead of trying to tie it on here. It's just as easier for me. So go ahead and I loop it and make myself a lasso. And if you're following your written instructions, you can choose any nail in this section or up here. So I'm left-handed, so I normally just kind of go to the left side automatically. There you go, you just loop it on and kind of loosen it over here and then pull it tight and then make one more knot on that same nail. You just don't want it to come unraveled when you pull on it. And then with this tail over here, I like to trim it so it's out of the way. Okay, so this is step one. You just want to make sure it is secure. The next step for this is you're just going to kind of make yourself a guide by wrapping it around. And for this whole part, you can kind of cheat and go all the way around. This just gives you kind of your border so you know when to stop and start. And then we'll go like this. And then you can even go up on the top, even though you know that that's the top. You'll just outline it in black afterwards. And ever so often, make sure you loop it at least if you are doing that little trick. And we'll just keep going around. And follow it down the cup. This is our coffee. I like mine like this, not black. So from here, you do have this middle part. You don't really have to go around and trace it. You can, but you don't have to. If you kind of go over it lightly, you can. You just kind of want to make sure you get in right in here. So to fill in, the way you do that is just like we were doing looping around, but now this time's across. You can loop it and loop it. You can go any direction you want. You can go all the way down here, up here, crazy, or you can kind of go back and forth, and this starts to fill it in. And then you'll just have to change your angles as you go around the curves. And then once you do a couple passes like this, you can change the angle and go back. And then as you do it too, here, let's do a little more and I'll show you. You'll notice, especially with this string, it is a little thicker. So you are going to want to push down the layers for the brown as you are stringing it. Once you get the netting, it's easier to push it down. This will make sure you have enough room for the black on this side and the white on this side. If not, these other two colors are going to be a lot more difficult. The string won't want to stay. It'll go, it doesn't fit. So make sure you do it at least at the end. If you want to do it as you go through, you can. Heck, if you need to push it all the way to the wood, you can. So you're just going to keep doing this all the way around. And back and forth, up and down, just making it a solid color. My normal thing is to do this. And then after I've gone back and forth with these different angles, I'll just kind of go crazy and throw in some random ones to mix it in as my kind of closing thing. But I am gonna add more right here, don't worry. Just showing you. So this is how you do it. And there's no rush at all. That's kind of the thing that I like about this too, especially with all my kids, is as I'm doing it, I can stop and start. And you can leave it like that, or you can even put it underneath the wood. Either way, it will be fine when you come back to it. It's not paint drying or nothing. Okay, so keep filling it in. Here, let's see if we can circle around to kind of show you inside. The one benefit of you tracing it like this would definitely be it'll make the white a lot easier to put on. So just make sure if you are filling them in section by section, you sort of don't go super crazy and overload it with string to make sure you have enough for it to look even throughout the entire brown. Same thing with the white and same thing with the black, because you can always come back for another pass. but you just kind of want to do a first basic one. And I do measure the string for the kits, so I try and throw in a little extra in case. But worst case, you're gonna have to unstring it and, you know, even it out a little bit more. But it is possible. So that's about as much as we'll do for now, I'd say. And again, we can always come back. Just kind of like that and work our way back out of this area. Put in a little bit more right here. And then we'll check. Look, there's a little blip down here. We'll kind of go around. Yeah, there we go. See? We'll trace our little thing. And again, the white later will cover up any little goofs we accidentally do. Because yes, I've made goofs before. And then I go back with the right color string and add it in and do a few layers. So it's all good. We're just having fun. All right, that little section is looking okay. And then we'll go down right here, doing a little bit like this. Let's see right here, we're gonna try. And the other thing too, if you notice that the string is pulling on the nails and you might have like a wiggly nail, you can either grab a hammer, or technically sometimes I've even used the scissors, and you just kind of want to tap it back in before it pulls out the nail, and that way you'll be okay. All right, so I'm going to continue working on this, and then we will meet back so I can show you how to end it, okay? All right, so when you run out of the first bobbin of the thread, what you're gonna do is make sure you unravel and leave yourself enough room to tie 2 more knots, just like you did in the beginning. So again, with your little lasso, pick any nail, and I hold to trap it, and there you go, 1. You're gonna wanna do that 1 more time, and pull it tight. And then you can trim this. Then after that, just grab the next one and repeat all the same steps to finish filling it in. And then we will meet for the white or the black. Next, we're gonna go ahead and do the black string. You can do the black or the white next, but I wanna show you how to do up here and how I do my borders. So it's kind of a 4-step process, and it'll show better with the black. So go ahead and grab whatever string, tie your knot, make your loop, choose a nail, and attach it. You should be familiar with this by now. Done it a few times. Trim away the extra. And then these same steps you'll do with the white. Okay, so if you need to, you can go ahead and also push down your layers if you haven't already, or you can do it as you go, but sometimes it makes it easier to just kind of get it out of the way. Okay, so the first step when you're doing your border is gonna go hold it tight and wrap around, wrap around, wrap around, just like you kind of have been doing when you're doing your border. So the same idea. You just keep going. And then for the sake of you not watching a million steps, I'll go ahead and just show you this section. So from here, you do this is 1, and you're gonna do that all the way around, all the way around, all the way around on the outside. And this one you can too. This just gives it a thick, solid color, so it kind of pops. You don't really have to do it with this one because you're gonna be covering it anyways, but. So you go around on one side, that's step 1. Then as you're going back, you're gonna be doing a crisscross. So front to back, side to side, all the way. That's step 2. And you can do step 1 all the way in a circle, and you can do these steps at the very end after you've filled in as well. Both work. So then once you do that, all the way. Step 3 is you're going to go back, doing the crisscross on the opposite angle. So now, in between each of the X's, between each of the nails, it will look like an X. Just back and forth. Here we go. You can tell there's kind of an X in between each one. And then for the last pass, I don't know if you've guessed it already, we're going to do what we did in the first one, but on the opposite side. So we're just wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. Okay. So that is how I do my border. So this whole thing will be the little lip along the top and all the way around. So this is very important for up here to help get that kind of thick, the other rim of the coffee. And down here, it just kind of gives it a finished look. Okay. The other way that I sometimes describe it is a figure 8. So another way you can do it is just down. So you have between two of the nails, down and back up. That's bloop. And then down on the opposite side and then back up opposite side. So you have a figure 8. And you can do that in any order you want. So it's just a thick line versus just one single line. That's all it is. And so you can even do those figure 8s in between up here. But go ahead and do that all the way around. If you want to do figure 8s the whole way, you can, but then you'll usually end up with an extra one on one side, which is fine, just because of the way it goes. So both ways work. You can do just kind of a section by section. And then if you ever change your mind and want to unravel it, then you just unravel it. But that's all there is to it. So you're just going to go ahead and do that at the very beginning, the very end, doesn't matter, and fill in just like you did this. Then when that's all done, you just tie it off and repeat all the same steps with your white outline. And there is your coffee.